Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How's everybody doing? My name is Eric McKinley, and I am the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. So, do me a favor. I was supposed to do this thing probably at 3 o'clock, man. But do me a favor as you get on, drop your city and your state, like it, share it, and tag somebody. And I'm going to do the same. Okay, I'm going to do the same. So, I've been putting pressure on people, man. Seriously. Been putting pressure on people to actually think about their future, their financial future. And I've been asking some thought provoking questions. And one of the thought provoking questions that I've been asking is, when are you going to retire? Do you have any idea? Do you have a retirement plan? Do you have a retirement blueprint? I can go over all of the different stats and all of the different research that people have about retirement and people being able to retire, from how many people are ready to retire, how many people they say that don't care. But the bottom line is, none of that matters. My question is, are you in a position? Are you ready? Do you have a blueprint to retire? So I want you to think about that as you check this live out and see how this pertains to you. Now, I'm not by any means a financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not licensed to do that. However, I do have information and I have access to some very, very progressive software, proven strategies that's going to help you to even think about how you can begin to plan your retirement. See, the deal is, your not your supervisor necessarily, but the person that owns the company. The person that owns the company has a retirement plan. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're working for a company, um, maybe it's some huge conglomerate, maybe you've been working for the state or the federal government. These higher up guys, these politicians, these people who are in positions of authority, these CEOs, they have a retirement plan. My question is, why don't you have one? And a lot of people, if you were to ask them simple questions, when are you going to retire? How much money do you need at retirement? Things like that. People are looking at you like a deer in the headlights. And I want to bring these questions to the forefront because these are things that we should know. We should know these things. And if we don't know them, then we should position ourselves to be able to know them. The reason why many of us don't know it, because we didn't follow all the rules that we were taught to follow. We were told to go to school. We were told to get that good degree. We were told to go out and get that good job. But nobody really broke it down to us when it was time to invest for our retirement, whether it was in a company 401k plan or whether it was in a traditional investment account, retirement account. Nobody broke it down to us and told us what these numbers meant. They didn't tell us what the terminology meant. They didn't tell us any of those things. So now here we are. And we're faced now, even in the pandemic, we're faced with the decision of whether we're going to retire early to even, try to get some type of quality of life. There's a study going around right now that says that, people are looking at retiring at 55 because they want to, be able to live. But I'm trying to figure this out. You can only retire when you have enough money working for you. And that is why people talk about retiring at 62, 65, 67. And not just that. A lot of people are retiring at those ages now because they don't have any medical coverage. I'm learning these things as I do my research. They don't have the medical coverage to retire between that gap. So let's say you're somebody who decides to retire at age 55. Me, myself, I'm 49 years old. Almost 49. I'll be 49 in October. And for those who know my background, I'm retired military. So I have a retirement coming in, but I haven't retired from work. And let's say right now, if I decide to retire from work right now, I have enough cash flowing in to take care of all my day-to-days, to take care of all my monthly expenses, to take care of whatever debt that I haven't paid off yet. I have enough money that's coming in that can do that. And everybody can't say that. That's to take care of me and my wife and my dog. All right. Even my son that's in college. We got enough money right now. If we never did anything else, we have enough money coming in. Well, everybody can't say that. And that's not a brag, but that's something that you need to think about. So the people who are out there working in corporate America, who are my same age or close to me, or maybe in 30s or their 20s, and they're saying, hey, I haven't really even thought about retirement. Well, the thing you got to ask yourself is, how much money do I need to retire? What is it going to take for me to retire? what type of life will I live? And if you're talking about retiring before the age of 62, or let's put it like this, if you're talking about retiring before the age that Medicaid kicks in, you're going to have a gap where you're not going to have any insurance. So that's a concern. And a lot of people are not thinking about that or having those conversations with their HR, with their representatives at their job, or any type of financial people. What they're doing is they're just trying to figure it out on their own. Let's stop doing that, y'all. Let's stop trying to figure it out on our own. Okay. So I got Mr. Luther Deloach on. I see Levon Odom is on. Thank y'all for jumping on. Like it, share it, and tag somebody. So I'm about to bring up a slide right now that's going to make a little bit of sense to some people, going to make a lot of sense to some people, and it's going to actually blow the backs off of a lot of people. Once again, I have to disclose, I am not a financial advisor or a financial planner. I'm a business owner, and I consider myself to be educated, and I'm a critical thinker. So I'm going to tell you, for everybody who's out there saying, you know what, you're not this, you're not that, stop it. You have to be able to take control of your own finances, and you have to be able to have a common, sensible conversation with yourself and take a look at your earlier years and say, hey, I didn't plan properly, and somebody sharing some information with me. Let me just hold on for a minute, stop looking for the X, Y's, and Z's in front of their names, and start listening to see what they got to say and if it makes sense. So now that that's out the way, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. 1 second. And this, some people have probably seen before, and that's cool. But this is going to slide into another bit of the information that I'm sharing, okay? So this is the financial game of life. And for those of you just jumping on, I'm Eric McKinley. I'm the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. We specialize in small business development, focusing in the area of business funding, personal finances, business building, anything that's going to get your business and your personal life to the next level. That's us. That's what we do. We've done our research. We're dedicated, motivated, and we're consistent. And I want you to understand that there's a lot of people who are going to try to sell you. They're going to try to sell you a bridge in Brooklyn. All I want to do is point out some things to you and then let you make an informed decision about the information that you never had in the first place. So check this out. I want you to think about this. Do you have $1 for every hour that you worked? You see the New Orleans Saints right there, man. I love that team. That's my hometown, man. But I want you to understand, this is a game. Life is a game. You got to ask yourself, are you winning or are you breaking even? And if you're breaking even, are you learning? Because if you're not learning, that means you're losing. So you need to understand this, all right? So there's 4 quarters in the financial game of life. First quarter is ages 25 to 35. How do we get that? Well, you got to think about it. The average person gets out of college around 22, 23 years old. They may find their first real job at age 25 to get in that society. A lot of people I realize have worked before that. I know I did. I've been working since I was 15, but let's just go with 25 to 35 for your first quarter. Your second quarter of life, ages 35 to 45. Now, I can remember when I was in my second quarter and I had just gotten access to this information I'm sharing with you. And I'm telling you, I was so super excited and I wanted to share with everybody. But the people that I was sharing with, they were not as responsive as the people that I'm getting in tune with now. So you got to make sure that you understand. See, people are going to, like I said, they're going to try to sell your bridge in Brooklyn. That bridge that I'm talking about, hey, you make a lot of money. You slide over to this spot, work this job, you're going to make a lot of money. Do this business, you're going to make a lot of money. But it's not about how much money you make. It's about how much money you keep and how that money works for you. Here's the third quarter, 45 to 55. That's where I'm at. I'm 48 years old. I'll be 49 in October, and I'm in my third quarter of this financial game of life. Find out where you are. The fourth quarter, ages 55 to 65. Find out where you are in the financial game of life. And then you ask yourself, you ask your current self, did you or are you happy with the decisions that your younger self made? See, I look at my 48-year-old self, and I look back at my 25-year-old self, my 35-year-old self, even my 40-year-old self, and I'm disappointed in the decisions that I made. Why am I disappointed? I'm disappointed because I could have done better. Because at the time, I did know better. And what I did know, I didn't research. What I did know, I didn't verify. But the things that I knew, I could have been doing something better. So no, I'm not happy with my younger self. which is why I'm talking to you right now. Because had I not been, had I been a better decision maker with my finances as my younger self, we wouldn't be having this conversation. But these are the 4 quarters in life. And then check it out. You got OT, out of time. See, a lot of people think that as long as they're living, they're good to go. And I'm going to tell you that is true in a sense. But when it comes to investing, after you've reached a certain age, you have to put your money in a fixed interest-bearing vehicle, a fixed rate of return, because you don't have enough time to catch up to make your money grow. I'm going to say that again. At a certain time in your life, I'm gonna go as far as saying at 60 years young. At 60 years young, you should not be investing aggressively. Why do I say 60? Well, at 59 and a half, they let you take the money out of your 401k without being penalized. You still got to pay taxes, but at that age, at 60, you shouldn't be making aggressive investments unless you have some disposable income or something like that. But this is the financial game. And the question is, do you have $1 for every hour that you've worked? Well, the amount of money that you earn in a lifetime is going to average $1 million or more. Have you ever heard somebody say, you know what? I wish I had $1 million. If I had $1 million, I'd be good to go. Well, if you think about it, it's a lot of people that's going to see $1 million plus in their lifetime. Now, let's just say the average salary is $25,000 a year. We know it's going to be more. But from the time you started working until now, or until 40 years from the time you started working, let's say the average salary is $25,000 a year. That means $25,000 a year. If you work 40 years, that means you have seen $1 million go through your hands. $1 million have gone through your hands. So you got to ask yourself, just because you didn't get that million right up front, what would you have done? And what could you do differently? What you think about that? Let's say the average person works about 2,000 hours a year. If you do the math, you do 40 hours a week times 50 weeks, and that's going to be approximately 2,000 hours a year. Okay, just approximately. So now, when they say we should retire, and I should have put "they" in quotes because there's always some smart person running around the water cooler, some smart person hanging around your desk at work, some smart person calling you on your phone saying, hey, you know what? I can't wait till I reach age 65. I can't wait till I reach age 62 or 67. I can't wait till I can retire. Well, I want to share something with y'all, and this is for everybody out here. You can like it. You can not like it. You can retire when you have enough money working for you. I'm going to say that again for the people in the back that didn't hear it. You can retire when you have enough money working on your behalf. That means that if you're 40 years young and you have enough cash flow, you're financially free, your debt is eliminated, and you have money working for you and you have cash flowing in, then that means that you can retire. Of course, all your things have to be taken care of, but you'll be able to retire. So don't let anybody tell you that you got to wait till you almost dead to retire. I mean, when people retire at 65, and there's no knock on anybody, but that's when most people start living. Unless you are living now and enjoying yourself and enjoying your life and your spouse, your significant other, your kids, your family, then you need to take a different look at what you're talking about. Okay. So now that person that said, hey, you know what? They started their career at age 25. They worked till they were 65. That's 40 years have passed. 40 hours a week times 50 weeks per year. That's 2,000 hours. Now, the reason why I know it's 52 weeks in a year, but just imagine you taking 2 weeks of vacation. All right. So now let's check this out. Do you have $1 for every hour that you've worked? Well, if you work 5 years, 5 times 2,000 is $10,000. Can you get your hands on 10 grand? What about 10 years? 2,000 hours times 10 years is $20,000. Can you get your hands on 20 grand? What about 30 grand or 40 grand? See, that was me and my wife. We were in that position and we had no idea. So I'm going to take it a little bit further. This is $1 for every hour that you worked. Do you have 50 cents for every hour that you work? Because 50 cents is going to cut that number in half. That's 5 years, 5 grand, 10 years, 10 grand, so on and so forth. You get it. Okay, I'll go even further. Do you have 25 cents Can you put your hands on 25 cents right now for every hour that you've worked? See, these are thought-provoking questions. And most people are going to say no, they can't. I know people who have worked 20 years at a job in an organization and they can't get their hands on $10,000. That was me several years ago. But because I got access to some information, it changed my mind, the way I thought about money, and it changed me and my family's life. So now, the next thing I want to share with you is this. Think about this, right? Do you have a financial blueprint? See, I dropped something like this in my group this morning, and I was trying to stir up some chatter, but you know how it is. You know, people have to work, they go about their day, or for the most part, people see stuff and they don't say anything because they're embarrassed. So I'm gonna share something with y'all. I was embarrassed too. I didn't know how much monthly income that I wanted at retirement, or did I need? I didn't know. I didn't know when I planned to retire. Being in the military, they told me to do my 20, keep my nose clean, and I would walk away with a pension. But that wasn't enough money to live the lifestyle that I want to continue to live. Just being honest. And I didn't have a retirement plan. Even in the military, when I first started in the military, there was no retirement plan. They were issuing out savings bonds. And then when I got to the point to where I could invest, I didn't know how or how important it was, so I didn't invest. I was in and out. What is your approximate, number 4, what is the approximate value of your investment portfolio? Nothing. And I skipped number 3 because at age 48, most of us, if you're not 55 sliding into close to Social Security right now, it's a strong possibility that you won't even see it. You say, well, Eric, I paid into it. So that's what happens when you trust the government to take care of your finances. That's what happens when you trust the government to take care of you. Well, I know they forcibly took it out your check, but what were you doing when they were taking that money out your check? Were you planning for your retirement? Because see, the government is in debt to the people via Social Security and other funds. So it's a possibility that you won't even get it. So now while we're talking about counting the pennies that we think we're going to get, we can't count that. Skipping back to number 5, how much money do you currently invest monthly in long-term savings? These are the questions that we should already know the answers to. How much additional money can you invest monthly if you had to? How much money do you have set aside for emergencies? This was a big kicker, especially because during the pandemic, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost time. They couldn't actually work as much as they wanted to. So they didn't have emergency funds. They didn't have emergency funds. They couldn't go a paycheck. They couldn't go without missing a paycheck. They were cash flow negative. They had more month than they had money, let alone they couldn't go 6 months without working. So the government, in a sense, and I want y'all to understand something, the government, in a sense, has pacified us. And the last question, I'm going to talk about that when I drop the screen. The last question is, do you feel you currently have a plan in place to accomplish your retirement goal in your desired time? Do you realize that people have all these zeros up here and they will say yes due to not wanting to seem foolish or look foolish or due to being embarrassed? Listen, I'm here to help the community. If you or somebody you know is looking to get their finances in order, if you or somebody you know is looking to get educated, if you or somebody you know is looking for a financial blueprint, come and talk to me. Get with the person that shared this video with you. If you've been tagged in the video, get with them. But listen, it's time out for being embarrassed. It's time out for waiting. See, the government has pacified us. They've convinced us that they're going to take care of us, but it's not their responsibility. See, we live in a capitalistic society. Capitalism means that people are going to take advantage of you, your skill sets, your strategies. So you need to understand that you need to be leveraging everything that you have to build something for when you can no longer work, no longer want to work, or your job fires you, or they retire you. You got to build something now. See, you're going to build something in your lifetime. You're going to build an asset for somebody. And I hear this all the time. And I got a couple of my buddies on the call. Thank y'all for jumping on, Luther, I hit Levon. Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate it. Thanks, Valerie. I got a couple of my buddies on here. Listen, you're gonna build an asset for somebody. And I hear people say, well, you know what? I don't want a business. Or investing is dangerous. The most dangerous thing that you can do is work for 40 years and walk away with nothing. And if I had a mic, I'd drop it. What I'm offering you is an opportunity to get your finances in order. Now, remember, everything that you know is not true. So it's going to take some time to reprogram our minds. But if you're serious and you're interested in getting your life together, like my wife and I were, like a lot of other people that we're connected to are, then it's worth it. I mean, who wants to be 70 or 80 years old having to work? Real talk. Who wants to be out collecting carts? Who wants to be bagging groceries at a local mart? Who wants to be collecting cans? See, these are the things that we need to be thinking about. So, if you don't know when you're going to retire, if you don't have a retirement plan or a blueprint, if you never talked to a financial advisor or a financial planner, get with me, get with the person that shared this information with you. We're more than happy to help you get started. But understand this, if you continue down the same road, you're going to continue to get the same results. So what I got going on, this is what I got going on. Today is Tuesday. Every Wednesday and Friday, we're talking about cash flow conversations, right? How to increase our cash flow, how to improve our finances. On Monday, starting this Monday, on the 7th, I believe, Monday's the 7th, we're going to be talking about Money Making Mondays. I'm coming back with my Money Making Mondays. It's going to be on a webinar. I don't know if I want to do Facebook Live. I may go live in my business page. On Thursdays, I'm talking about business credit. So all the business owners that are out there that wants to build some business credit, that wants to learn how to build a business correctly, that's what we're going to be doing. So Mondays, we're talking about finances. We're going to be talking about credit. We're going to be talking about how to hire your child. We're going to be talking about how to fix your finances, how to lower your taxes, how to eliminate debt. We're going to talk about all the things that emergency funds, things like that. So if you're into that, hey, get with me. All this information I'm sharing online is free. Until you partner with us, it's an investment. So invest your time in learning what we're doing, and then invest your money in yourself and partner with the company and the information that we're going to be sharing. This company right here, we're helping a lot of people. So all you got to do is get on a good foot. My name is Eric McKinley. I'm the Director of Program Development of National Business Builders. Thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Hey, Ms. Lillis, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you. Like it, share it, tag somebody. If this makes sense to you, connect with me or the person that shared the information with you or the person that tagged you. If it doesn't, hey, just hang around. Keep on taking it in. But like I always say, ladies and gentlemen, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. I'll see y'all at the top, because it's too many people struggling at the bottom unnecessarily. Peace.